And Kamala Harris and other figures in the Democratic Party encouraged the mob torching Kenosha, Wisconsin in the summer of 2020. Kyle Rittenhouse decided to try to defend the city. A car lot specifically was asked by the owner to help defend the car lot because the police weren't there. He worked in Kenosha. His family's father lived there. So he shows up and a child molester tries to murder him, and Kyle Rittenhouse defends himself. Two other people try to kill him too, one with a gun. So for doing that, he was put on trial and charged with murder. He was acquitted. But at the same time, virtually every news organization in the country defamed him. They called him a murderer before the trial had ended, and they called him repeatedly a white supremacist, which he is not. Tech platforms enabled that defamation. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse is taking legal action against them. Kyle Rittenhouse is the founder of the Media Accountability Project. Todd McMurtry is his lawyer. They join us now to explain what they're doing. Thanks to you both for coming on. Tell us, Kyle, good to see you. What action are you taking against the tech companies that made this defamation possible?
Well, we're going to make the media pay for what they did to me. They made it hard for me to live a normal life. I can't go out into public. I can't go to the store. It's hard for me to go anywhere without security. Shoot, doing basic things like taking my dog to the dog park is difficult. So they made it really difficult to be normal, and they affected future job opportunities to me. I don't think I'll ever be able to work or get a job because I'm afraid an employer may not hire me.
Well, I think that's entirely fair because of the lies repeated for over a year by the tech platforms that are not journalists. They're soldiers in some sort of weird partisan war they're fighting. So what are you doing to rectify this?
Well, we're going to be taking them to court. Go ahead, Todd.
Todd, tell us the legal action. Yeah.
Okay, sure. To answer your first question with regard to what we plan to do with the tech companies, of course, we're looking at those, and I think the first one that I'm taking a look at is Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg announced in a videotape that what Kyle was involved in was a mass murder, and that's clearly defamatory as well. That's not protected by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. In my opinion, Section 230 allows you to take down violent things or things that people don't want to hear. But telling the truth about Kyle is not something that Section 230 enabled Facebook to take down. So that's an example of what we plan to do with tech and also plan to do in the defamation arena.
And by defamation arena, do you mean with so-called news organizations?
Absolutely. I mean, as you mentioned some of that on the way in, and certainly Kyle was charged with a crime. News organizations are allowed to report on that. But, calling somebody a murderer in certain circumstances can be actionable. Other things that media personalities, people on social media said were clearly defamatory. I think your comment about calling Kyle a white supremacist is made up out of thin air. I don't know how a media can claim that they didn't make a statement made up out of thin air without engaging in actual malice or most certainly negligence. So I think that we have some strong grounds to proceed. We're starting to look at all those. We're going to evaluate them and look for opportunities to hold the media and to hold tech accountable as Kyle's promised.
So Kyle, when you go into public, do people repeat to you things that they saw on social media or on, say, NBC News or CNN?
There's been a few people. I've received some harassment, and thank goodness for my security, LT, TC, and Kenny, and Dave, for helping me not have to get harassed to make sure that they keep me safe, and if somebody does come up to me, they make sure that they're not going to harm me. So thank God for them.
Yeah. And Todd, really quick, how exactly are you going to go after Zuckerberg?
Well, I think we're going to sue for the defamatory statements that Kyle engaged in mass murder, and B, for violations of Section 230 by taking down posts that were told the truth about Kyle. So in essence, they suppressed the truth by taking down truthful posts, and they did that in violation of Section 230.
Well,
that Communications
exactly
Decency Act does not provide that protection. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly right. It's not just that they defamed him, but they also took down any defense of him or the facts about him, as they did with the vaccines and a million other things, the war in Ukraine. I appreciate what you all are doing. Thank you both. Kyle, great to see you. Thank you, Todd.